David, I'm going to throw it back to you and kind of get your take here. Conference realignment. We'll ask quickly. SEC, Big Ten, and what day will it be announced that FSU is going to one of those, please?
TJ, did you
Great
say
question.
quickly?
I honestly, I don't think that this is happening soon. I think we are likely looking at probably a 2 to 3 year window right now. The ACC is sort of in this weird holding pattern, like the scene in Austin Powers where they're driving towards the security officer, and he's like, no, get out of the way, get out of the way. And he's just standing there, and they're really far away, but eventually they run over him. That's where the ACC is right now. They're not able to move out of the way, even though they've got some runway to move. They're not doing it. Somebody's going to challenge the grant of rights, but I think it's probably 2 to 3 years off. My guess is there's a good chance that it's Florida State that does it. The question about ACC or SEC Big Ten is an interesting one because I think clearly SEC is probably the better fit for Florida State, but they probably have much more value to the Big Ten because the Big Ten, if the Big Ten's goal is to expand its TV footprint, then Florida being in the state of Florida matters. If the Big Ten's goal is to piss off Greg Sankey, which I think it might be, then Florida being in Florida matters. And C, if you look at the SEC, I mean, Georgia doesn't want any part of Florida State being in the SEC. Alabama doesn't want any parts of that. Florida doesn't want any parts of that. And the SEC network is already fully distributed and getting paid a whole hell of a lot of money within the state of Florida. There's not this need to have Florida State. So it's a really fascinating thing because I think, you look at some of the way that the league is split up, I would probably say that Clemson is certainly more of an SEC profile. Florida State is more of an SEC profile, but those two schools probably would matter more financially to the Big Ten than the other way around. Then you look at a place like North Carolina, which as much as they have not been great in football over any sort of long stretch of time, there is a lot of interest in. They might be the most in demand of the ACC teams when realignment happens or when realignment comes for the ACC. But they probably profile much better to the Big Ten, and I think they might actually be the team that the SEC is most interested in. So it's sort of a weird – this is the weird vibe of realignment is that so little of it has to do with the actual caliber of the teams or who, the philosophical overlaps, and so much of it has to do with, how much more money can you add to our bottom line?